And really, what has it done for us? It's made my life and running the business simpler. It's really the whole key that we have accomplished from it is just making things more simple. We are now more focused on who we are, where we're going to go, and how we're going to get there. It's really just continuously looking at your focus. Our company is a lot different now than what it was before we started professional management. Things are running better. We're growing with a purpose. I have a board of advisors that help us solve a lot of issues and learn from their mistakes, so I don't make the same mistakes. I make brand new ones. It's just making our business run a lot better. And the employees have said you can feel it in the air since we had professional management. You can feel the confidence in where we're heading. You can feel the focus. It's kind of like when you say that you can feel the tension, you can cut it with a knife. It's really the same thing with our employees. Our journey through this was exciting, fulfilling, and there was some tough times. The one thing I had advantage is my direct reports were behind this when we first got started. They took the senior manager's course out there, and we were able to move through it. Some of the tough times is having to clean house of the people that really just don't fit, aren't going to buy into it. So we got rid of about 7 people, and considering we were at 21, it's quite a few people, but then we've hired back. We're back up to about 28 now. Just hired 2 people yesterday. So the journey was really exciting to us. One of the things that we noticed is in the professional management there's a dock model and how everything's so interrelated. If you're good at one thing, it really overflows into the other. If you're bad at one thing, it really overflows into the other. So myself and my 2 main direct reports, we're meeting on a monthly basis to go over the dock model. I take the D portion of the dock model, the direction, and I look at leadership and I look at strategy. And so in that month, I am telling them this is what we got done this month, and this is where we're going to go, how we're going to be better leaders, how we're going to create leaders, where we're going with their strategy, how we're getting better with the strategy. And then my right-hand man, since we started the company in 1994, he takes the O part, which is operations. And he's working on people development and our culture and making sure that we're meeting our core values, making sure that we continuously work on people development. Our latest thing is our evaluations are called enjoyment checkups. And because we want to make sure they're enjoying it, but at the same point, we have to enjoy them too. And so really that was the whole thing. So we try to get it to where that's where we're at. Same way with hiring people. We're big into hiring and firing and just making sure we have the right people. And then the C part is handled by Matt Hoeing, who we project, you got to have a plan, he's going to be the next president, take over for me down the road, hopefully 5 to 8 years from now. He takes care of the C, which is controls, and he takes care of the business, controls, and the structure. And his work is to make sure we have rewards that come back to what our core values are, which helps with our culture. So all of it just interrelates. So we spend a lot of time, we'll spend 2 hours every month pushing each other, okay, what did you get done this last month and what are you going to get done the next month? And we'll get in there, and if I'm not, for instance, not in charge of people development, but I went to Aileron or somewhere and learned about something that we should try, I pass that on to them. So we're always feeding each other's information, trying to get that dock model better and better. So personally, on a professional basis, what has professional management done for me? Again, we just know who we are. We know our core values. We know why we exist. We know where we're going. We know how we're going to get there. We just run the business a lot better. And so that's what it's got for us professionally. Personally, what it's done for us is I now am out of the running, doing engineering drawings. I'm not into the day-to-day stuff. I don't row the boat anymore. I'm steering the boat. It was tough for me because I've always saw the value in rowing the boat. It was hard for me to think that all the employees would say, hey, we really want you to steer the boat. We don't want you in there rowing. And I changed with that. The other thing in the personal basis is it started working on what's really important. What is really important at Choice One? There's a lot of pressure. If, for instance, if somebody has a luncheon with their kid at school, there's a lot of pressure in our company to make sure you go. In the past, it was like you felt guilty going, I'm going to take 2 hours out of my day where I could be working. Now, if you don't go, you're in big trouble. And so everybody pushes to that. Everybody's supportive of it. One of the things that, for me personally, about a year and a half ago, my son graduated from high school. And this was an opportunity for us to do something together. And we wanted to ride our bikes across the country. Remember, it was just a few years ago I was rowing the boat. And we took off and flew out to San Francisco and got on our bike, and we rode our bike all the way to Portsmouth, New Hampshire. So I was off all of June and all of July. The big key was when we flew out, I didn't know this, but the company got together and they said there will be no phone calls and no emails of Tony when he's gone. And so I didn't get anything, except for some emails from them. Every week we get an email, they're doing different things in my office. The first email was an executive nap room, so they were sleeping on my desk and stuff. The next one was an executive bathroom. They actually brought a toilet in and set it to where my seat was, and they took pictures of people reading the magazine, reading the paper. They actually took pictures of them cleaning it. So we did a blog when we were on it, my son and I, and we actually had over 900 people following the blog because we had our clients' friends, our friends, and it was actually a great marketing tool, which because they went there every day to read it, our clients. But one of the things they did on our blog, we were complaining about the winds because we would say, prevailing winds are from west to east, and we were expecting that. The first 20 days, we only had one day with the wind. Everything else was against the wind. So we were whining probably a little more than we should have been. They got fans and put them in my office, blew paper all over, took pictures, and they said, due to high winds, we have to take off July 3rd and July 4th. So the nice part about it is they had the comfort level to know that I wouldn't care that they, as a company, took off another day. So that was just some of the things, and one of the things really comes back is we turned that blog into a book. And it's 250-page book, and my son and I keep going back to that. It's something very special, something that you'll never be able to take away from me. And what has professional management done for me personally? I think that explains it all right there. Life is short. You got to make sure you take those times and do what's important. And professional management provided that tool for me besides running the business. So that's all.